This is the wall that surrounds the old city. And this is the Wailing Wall, famous Wailing Wall. And we're going to take a look at this. Basically, only to about here, it was built by Herod 2,000 years ago. And then each of these layers was added later. The top layer was added actually before 1967, when the Israelis captured Jerusalem in 1967. A few years before that, the Muslim authorities, Jordanian authorities who were in control here, put another little layer of brick on top. Basically, you're trying to secure it. You don't want. So all of this, most of this was added over time. Here it is in 1870. Hi, Marcia.
I didn't take this one.
No, right. We didn't get there that early. And here's a description of how when they were done. So these were done. It's 19 BC. Herod built that wall, and you'll see these stones. We have another picture to show you how beautiful these stones are. And then this it was added by the Umayyads, 600 AD. And then during the Ottoman Empire, in 1866, they added these layers. And then you see these last layers were added before 67. So this is the ancient part of the wall. And then here's another piece of the wall. And you can see that these are much smaller stones. That's very different. And these stones, they're enormous. And they're quite beautiful. And you also notice that the wall is alive. So that when you come for the morning prayers at dawn, birds are flying in and out. There are whole bushes growing out of the wall. I mean, there's no attempt to try to stop that from happening. It's the wall has a kind of living character to it. So in the morning, the birds are flying. The bushes are opening, and you can just feel it's alive. And then over here, in these little whites is notes. People in the crevices, people put little notes that they want to deliver to God. Today, you can email a note, and they'll deliver your email right in there. They were thinking of just sticking a computer in one of these holes, but anyway,
do they transfer it to a piece of paper and put
Right.
it in the wall?
Yeah. So you can email it, and they'll take your email note to God, and they'll stick it in. And when we went to Jerusalem, a friend of ours mailed us, little, and you write it down, and you fold them up really, really tight, because and just stick it in there. And then twice a year, Karen looked this up. They said that right now they're getting about 1 million notes a year stuck into the wall. So they have to clean it out periodically, and then they bury the notes in the Mount of Olives. So I don't think there's any guarantee that God reads them all. But you get, it's as good as you get. I mean, that's this is in Jerusalem, and we're not sure what this was, but it looks like it's the remnants of a cemetery, and here are these big hotels. This is just a street, and you find this kind of thing wherever you go. There's just this little area, and they didn't clean it up, and they didn't put a hotel on top of it for whatever reason, and we don't know exactly what this was. They left it, and there's just something really powerful about respecting a piece of the area that you're not going to disturb. You just leave it that way. We have a neighbor who lives around the block from us, and he has a yard that's just like that. It's and it's nice. This is King Herod's. He's rebuilding this according to Waldorf Astoria, and this is in Jerusalem, and done with Jerusalem stone, and capturing, staying within the architectural design that you find everywhere in Israel. There's only one construction company in Israel. It's a socialist country, so they have one organization tied to a labor group that does all the building, and so all the buildings kind of look alike, especially in Jerusalem. They're all made out of this. This is Jerusalem stone, and they're all made out of that. One of the things that impressed me, the first time I was there was 1967, is that every time I go back, it's new, something is new, the infrastructure has been rebuilt. So this is the new light rail in Jerusalem, and you'll see the streets. I mean, it's just, clean as a whistle. It's a beautiful place, and there I am. And so you have the new and the old. Israel is half the size of the UP, and has 2 million people fewer than Michigan, and has more than 10 times the economic. They have no water, and they have no natural resources, but they have 10 times the economy of Michigan. Their economy is about twice as large as the economy of the entire Midwest. And that's this tiny little strip of desert, basically. This is the Dead Sea. And what you have, all of this was water originally. So the Dead Sea covered this entire area, and it's drying up at the rate of 1.5 meters, fast, 1.5 meters a year. And so now it's like puddles. So this was connected. This was covered. So now you have a little puddle over here and a little puddle over there. I mean, it's really drying up fast. So in order to save it, now gives you an idea. This is turn of the century, and this is 1997. And today it's, remember, two pieces, two puddles, right? Basically. And here you can see how large it was once. All this white area is dried salt, right? It's the salt. We call it the Dead Sea, but they call it the Salt Sea, because it's really heavy mineral salt. So the Israelis have come up with a plan to drill a tunnel from the Mediterranean Ocean to the Dead Sea. It's downhill. This is the lowest place on the face of the earth. And so the water will just flow right down through this tunnel, and they'll put turbines in it. So they'll generate electricity, and then they'll fill the bathtub up. They'll fill it up, and they'll control then the amount of water that's in it, and keep it at a steady. And then some of the plans include building these luxury hotels. Right now it's bare. And one of the reasons why you wouldn't want to build a multi-million-dollar hotel is because if you built the hotel over here and the water just disappears on you, you're further and further and further. And you can see when we went there that they have to keep moving, the gazebos and because you have to you longer and longer and longer trek till you get to the water. But if you fix that, and you've got the thing where you know that the shoreline is going to be stable. And by the way, they would also maintain the salinity, and because they've got all the minerals are still there. It's just that there's no water on top of them. So you can just put the water in, mix it up, and you've got the Dead Sea back to where it was at the turn of the century. And then you could build these fabulous hotels and totally ruin the beauty of it. But they're fighting over that. Historical preservation always is a political and economic, and in Israel, the economics of this are major.